When you hear the word stroke, you might think of sudden weakness, slurred speech, or maybe even someone collapsing out of nowhere. But did you know there are actually two main types of strokes? Let me break it down for you. First, there's bleeding in the brain, called a hemorrhagic stroke. But in this video, I'm focusing on the more common type ischemic stroke. So what exactly does that mean? An ischemic stroke happens when there's a blockage in a blood vessel, cutting off blood flow to a part of your brain. That blockage is usually a blood clot. Now, here's the wild part. That clot can form right in your brain due to hardened arteries, or it can travel from your heart. Think of it like a little hitchhiker catching a ride in your bloodstream. Sometimes the clot forms along the big pipes, like your aorta or carotid arteries, breaks off, and heads straight for your brain. Each type of ischemic stroke actually looks a little different on a brain MRI. So, is there a treatment for ischemic stroke? The answer is yes and no. If your symptoms are severe and you get to the hospital within a certain window, usually a few hours, the ER team and neurologist might be able to give you a clot-busting injection. If the clot is really big, they might even talk about a mechanical retrieval, literally pulling the clot out from your brain's larger arteries. But here's the catch. If the clot is too deep, not visible, or you arrive too late, those treatments might not be an option. Now, let's talk about what puts you at risk for an ischemic stroke. The big ones: uncontrolled blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, high cholesterol, a bad diet, sleep apnea, heart rhythm issues like atrial fibrillation, thick or sticky blood, and even genetics. But you don't need all these risk factors to have a stroke. Even just one is enough to put you at risk. Here's a question I get a lot. If I've had a stroke, does that mean I'm immune to another, like with some viruses? Actually, it's the opposite. Your risk of another stroke is higher than the general population. And what if you had stroke-like symptoms that went away on their own? You absolutely still need a stroke workup. In fact, your risk might be even higher for a major stroke down the line because you might not seek help right away. Now, what if your symptoms disappear and your MRI is negative for a new stroke? That's called a TIA, or transient ischemic attack, a warning sign that you got lucky this time. Even then, stroke precautions are a must. Some folks ask, what's the difference between a TIA and a mini stroke? The difference is mostly technical. A TIA doesn't leave a scar on your brain, but a mini stroke does, even if symptoms are mild or gone. Can you have a stroke without even knowing it? Sadly, yes. Silent strokes can add up over time and lead to vascular dementia, a type of memory loss that's actually preventable if you catch and control those strokes early. If you've already had a stroke and the cause isn't clear, or you're having repeat strokes, seeing a stroke specialist is a smart move. And finally, here's the ABCDE and S of stroke prevention. A for aspirin or anticoagulation, B for blood pressure management, C for cholesterol control, D for diet and diabetes, E for exercise, and S for stopping smoking and treating sleep apnea. Remember, fast action and prevention are key. Take care of your brain, it's the only one you've got.